What's up, guys? We're out here today, part 2 of the Philly Auto Show prep. Painting, doing some painting. So you guys saw in the last video, I was a little mad. I wrapped it up with the vinyl. So I'll show you guys where we stand with bumper vinyl after I go over what we've been doing out here. So we had a warm night the other night. As soon as I got home from work, I turned the heaters on and I was able to get the garage up to like 66 degrees, I think was the highest we saw. It's 68 in here right now. So it's like, it's a good temperature to do some stuff. So I started by working on the engine bay. So started with the driver's side and the rad support. Now, ignore these little areas right here. I'll tell you why I had to resand that on both sides. So, I covered off the radiator, front half of the motor, the whole front area here, and then we covered the headlight, pulled the fender off a little bit, tucked some plastic underneath, covered that area, and I started spraying. So after scuffing it in the last video, I sprayed the red, super metallic. It's crazy how much metallic is in this color. It's kind of hard to see, but started up there, sprayed my way down, sprayed over here, and then on the last coat of this area, I started this way. I ain't realizing right around here the can started spitting on me, so that's why I had some hard drops that I had to scuff back down, so I'll hit that again. And then it ended up spitting all over the side of the car. Once I realized, and I got some on the floor there, it looks like a crime scene out here, but thankfully I covered all the way down to the floor, so the wheel didn't get covered or dripped on or anything. But I ultimately had to go return the can to the store because the can was shot, and now I have to find another can, and this color seems to be getting harder to find, so hopefully I can get another can. I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to. I'm going to go check some stores this weekend, and if not, I'll have to order some online. But I have the passenger side and the firewall left to do. These sides are basically done after I throw some paint on that little section right there. Then in the last video I also pulled the valve cover off. This is where we stand with the valve cover. So this valve cover has been spray painted many times, many different colors. So I hit it with some 100 grit sandpaper to knock it down, basically some spots down to bare metal because there were a lot of imperfections in it. So got that knocked down, and then we hit it with some 320 to smooth it out before spraying it. We just used some regular white Rust-Oleum primer and some white gloss, and that is what we have. We have a nice finish. This is actually probably one of the better valve covers I've done for this car in terms of the result of it. So I used the heat gun to heat the valve cover up because it was sitting out here overnight. Once the metal was warm, I grabbed the cans from inside. I put them inside last night knowing that I'd be spraying today. Laid some plastic down, sprayed it. Now I'm just letting it sit and dry. No rush on that. After that, we're going to do the intake plenum, and also once we get some more red paint, we'll do the spark plug cover. The Rocket Bunny style Crux wing extension is wrapped and it looks beautiful. So this weekend, we're gonna, hopefully this weekend, I'm hoping, we're gonna drill out some holes and get that vinyl all tucked in there. And we're gonna, with the help of Tyler, we're gonna riv nut the wing extension to the wing itself. And riv nuts are basically a rivet, but it's an insert that goes into the wing first, and it allows it to screw in and out. So I could unscrew this and actually take this wing extension off if I ever wanted to. The only thing left we have to do with that afterwards is take the whole black wing off. I have to hot wire it to put it in the down position, and then peel the rest of that white plastic dip off, and we're good. I'm just hitting with light heat, nothing too crazy. I'm just kind of swirling around over the valve cover, so there's no direct heat on any part of it, and it'll just allow it to not get cold, because down here on the floor it's a little colder than standing up. Obviously hot air rises, so I'm just kind of warming the paint to help speed up the drying process and make sure that everything stays warm while the paint dries for the best finish. I always find myself painting valve covers and things like that when it's like close to freezing outside, even though it's 50 degrees out right now. But We're supposed to get like 5 to 8 inches of snow next week. I can't wait, and I say that in the most sarcastic way possible. Alright guys, so the valve cover is back on. Came out looking absolutely perfect. Now all I have to do is put the PCV line back on, clamp that on. I'm going to have to heat it up again like I did in the last video because that rubber is old. Little vent line going to the back valve cover is done. And then I got to put that, that little ground connect that I have going from the front head to the back head. I got to put that on as well. And then oil cap. Looks good. Definitely looks good. What I'm going to do is shove a rag in the oil hole. I'm just going to sand off the paint on the surface of the oil cap where it seals to, and that will be good to go. Alright, so let's get this started off at a better pace. We're going for a crazy hair day today. But Eagles are playing tonight for the conference championship. It's Sunday. I'm going to try and have the car finished by the Eagles game, so like by like 6 o'clock. So the list isn't long. It's a little time consuming though. I'm on the gimbal now too. So, you guys may have seen my how-to video on replacing CV axles on a 3000 GT. So the welded diff has to go back in the car. That's gonna be the last step of the day because still being sick, I know it's gonna kick my butt and not gonna wanna do anything afterwards. But let's take a look at the list. So basically I have to touch up a couple edges of plasti dipped areas on the car. My wing is mounted, so we can check that off. Purple vinyl on the driver's side. And then I also need to dip rear bumper. So we're gonna start this now, and then while the plasti dip is drying, we're gonna also start with the purple on the driver's side. I also have to dip the wiper motor black, so that'll come after all these. And then my fuel filter has been remounted, axles rebooted. Then we'll install the welded and we will start to clean the whole entire car. Should be good then. Full detail all over. The bumper wrapped. You can see there's white underneath of there. Since that area was plasti dipped, and I'm going to actually re-dip it. I'm going to dip the whole bottom section of the bumper because I think it'll give it a cool look, having like a diffuser look to it with the bottom half plasti dipped. So here, I'll give you guys a walk around the car and how it looks right now. Yesterday we mounted the Rocket Bunny style wing that you guys saw in one of the previous videos. It's the Crux wing. We use the riv nut tool. Shout out to Tyler for the riv nut tool. So we got some nice M6 bolts with the colored hardware. The mirrors are all dipped black. Got the serial 9 shifter in there. And then yesterday I basically finished up touching up the engine bay paint on the sides. The intake manifold I painted the other night. And we're pretty much in good shape for the engine bay once we just wipe it down and finish cleaning it up. All the purple hardware came in for the front bumper and for the bay, and then we have the purple quick releases here in the front. We're still gonna have to use the red ones in the rear, but what are you gonna do? They didn't come in time. All right, so I got the bumper standing up on some boxes. You got a couple cans, should be in good shape. We're gonna re-dip this area as well because it's gotten a little beat up over the years of being taken on and off the car. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how this turns out and to finally see the bumper back on the car. All right, we're all taped up. Now I'm just gonna lay some plastic, tape some plastic to the edge, and tape up that light, get everything all covered up. Before I continue further, I'm going to show you guys how I got to the point with the rear bumper that I'm at right now by showing you guys a couple clips that I shot the other night.
So let's snap to that now.
So basically the approach that I took to do the rear bumper was to wrap the top half in one piece and create a seam inside of the joint here, which is what we ended up doing for the front bumper after messing it up, and then do the bottom half, make another line at the seam, or at the little body line here, and then we were gonna wrap the whole bottom purple. So what the issue that I ran into was I didn't have enough purple to do all the way across the bottom of the bumper. So then what I was gonna do was wrap this gray in another piece. But then, after looking at it from above, I decided that since the whole middle section here is plasti dipped black, because that's originally gray, what I'm gonna do is tape around the vinyl and dip the whole lower bumper into the license plate area, and then the lower bumper over here in black. Now you can see what I did here with the purple on the sides. So basically the purple is going to come all the way down the car and then taper off right here, and then that's where it'll meet the black and then carry on through. So now the process that I'm about to do is finishing the purple on this side. So basically what I did to make this a nice even cut was I got my knifeless tape. I measured the other side, so we were 13.5 inches from the bottom of the bumper to the top of the point, and then we were 5 inches on the bottom of the bumper to the lower point. Now I just taped my line, taped across here, and then I have my piece of purple, which is right here, and it has a clear protective layer on it. So I have my purple, and then basically I'm just gonna lay it down. Leave as much slack towards the bottom as possible. Have enough to roll around. All right. So you're gonna see a bunch up in this area because this side is nice and flat. Rolls around pretty easily. But this area, it's kind of a weird angle, so you're gonna see a bunch up. So basically I have to heat it and stretch it and pull it to get the bunch up on the other side of the knifeless tape. And it's also kind of difficult to heat it up with this clear plastic off, so I'm eventually going to get to a point after hitting it with the squeegee a little bit where I'm going to get rid of that plastic. Squeegee out past my tape line, so you can see the tape line right underneath it there. So basically just work everything out past there. This vinyl is thicker than the gray, so it's a little harder to get started with the knifeless tape. But once it's started, done deal, nice and easy. And you got yourself a perfectly straight line. Just cut off the excess down here, peel the green from behind. There we go. Boom. There it is. And there it is. Now we got a little weird line right here from the tape. Didn't cut super clean. We also got the green still under. We'll pull that out. So what I'm gonna do here is just hit it gently with the heat gun, and boom, line is cleared up. So now I'm gonna go down the line completely. Make sure it's nice and sealed up there. Same with right here. Make sure it's nice and sealed up. Call this post heating, where you're basically heating up the edges and the vinyl itself that you put down to kind of activate the adhesive and make sure you get a good bond with whatever you're sticking the vinyl to. And then we're in good shape. So the next step will just be taping off the whole lower section of the bumper and plasti dipping the whole thing, which we're gonna do on Saturday. So I'm probably gonna skip to that right now.
All right, so I went ahead and I finished plasti dipping, and it came out looking awesome. I love how the black going all the way across the bottom looks. I just got to plug in the center tail light, and then we should be good to go. We are all wrapped up here. We got some purple on the side of the little splitter things there, the canard, whatever you want to call them. We got the bumper all secured. We got the purple going down the driver's side. And you can kind of see here how it just tapers into the black as it goes around the back of the car. Threw in a fresh tail light bulb. And now basically the only things left that I have to do is take each one of my wheels off and clean them, barrels to the front side, clean up my brake calipers, and then just go over the car and just clean everything else, and then swap the diff. I don't know if I'm going to get to the diff today. I don't know if I want to start that project or if I'll do it tomorrow night, but I'd say we're at a pretty good point for the Philly Auto Show.
All right, what's up, guys? It's the next day. I kind of slacked towards the end of yesterday to try and continue getting video and videotaping what I was doing. So it's the next day, and we got everything done. The welded is back in the car. The purple is done. I think you may have seen that. I kind of forget where I stopped because I was in such a rush. I had so much to get done and so little time that was the biggest focus. And I always say when you're like recording while you're trying to do something to your car, it's gonna take at least double the time as to what it normally would. So I'm just turning on all the heaters in the garage, even though we got the doors open a little bit here, because tonight Steph is on her way over and we're gonna rewrap the hood. So you guys probably can't even see it. I don't know, I'll just move the hood up and down. But there are some deep scratches in the hood coming down. Basically, when we had the squeegee with the felt tip, we were using the squeegee and it was just cutting right into the vinyl. So what happened was the felt tip wore out. I didn't notice. And a couple other panels have some light scratches here and there because of that. But what I then started doing was wrapping a microfiber rag around the squeegee, and that pretty much solved my issue on all the panels moving forward. So I have the extra vinyl, we have the extra time. Tonight, Steph and I are going to rewrap the hood. Pain in the butt, but I want to make sure that the car can look as good as I can make it for the auto show, and those scratches really show in fluorescent lighting, similar to what the car will be under during the auto show. Alright, so the next move is going to be laying the vinyl across the car. And I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, man, I hope I have enough. Probably something I should have thought of beforehand. But let's see. Wow. Talk about just having enough.
Oh wow, yeah.
All right. Because I picked it up in the basement and I was like, hey, is this gonna be long enough? So the hood is wrapped, the blisters are back on. The next move is basically going to be making all these edges and cutting to make a clean edge underneath of the hood.
There we go. We got a nice edge across the front, in through the headlight, down the side. I still have to cut the excess off down along the side there. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little mishmash of stuff from wrapping the bumper at the end of last week to this past weekend, doing the stuff to the car outside, swapping the diff yesterday, and then finally finishing the hood here. So by the time I put this video out, it's probably gonna be time for the show, so this is gonna wrap up our prep. And the only thing that I have left to do is, you know, clean up some, just like detail the engine bay, vacuum the interior, clean my wheels, and then we're basically ready to head down to the show. The next video you guys are probably going to see, we got a special guest coming into town. He was here for H2O. My buddy from Florida, Brandon, is coming up to visit, and he's staying at my house again. So the next video you're going to see is probably going to pick up on Wednesday. We're going to go grab him from the airport and kind of get ready for the auto show and get ready for the good time that we're going to have. I'm looking forward to it. My buddy Jeff Stoneback, he's bringing his S13 and his S15. My buddy Matt is bringing his bagged Volkswagen Cabrio with a Jetta front end Mark III. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time, and there's going to be a lot of cool cars there this year. And now that the channel is kind of up and running, and we got some, you know, get the subscriber count up since this time last year, I'll be able to give you guys some coverage from the show, the different areas of the show, because we're going to be there Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all that. Once I have the day set, I'm going to let you guys know, because if you do come to the show and find me by my car, I'm going to hook you guys up with a sticker if you just mention, you know, that you follow the channel and stuff like that. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, share the video, whatever, and I will see you guys next time.